Hey guys, what's up? Today we're going to be working on my 2016 Ford Transit 150. One of my rear axle shafts, the bolts came off of it, and so we have to do a rear brake job, replace the axle bolts and the axle.
Let's get started.
So I decided now we should just take the wheel off, see if we can get the jack stand under there. Okay, just so you guys can see what broke, this is the axle shaft and the bolts holding it to that just completely sheared off. So unfortunately that means we have to replace the axle shaft and do the brakes. So here's the new axle shaft for this. It's not OEM, it is aftermarket. So hopefully it does fit well. Here I have to, trying to do this with one hand is kind of hard. Okay, so I'm going to pull this old guy out, take all these old bolts off. Oof. That is definitely not supposed to have that grind mark in there, I'm pretty sure. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take off the caliper bolts and take off all the brakes, because we have to do that while we're here. I had taken this to a technician and they said that the rotor was damaged when the bolts broke, and so we're just gonna go ahead and do the brake job anyways. Okay, hopefully you guys can see that, but to get the brake caliper off, we need to loosen this bolt right here. It's a 15 millimeter. I'm gonna go ahead and use the impact drill with what I call wobble head on it. Once we get the brake caliper off, we'll get the rotor off, and then we'll just put it all back together. Let's hope I don't get hit in the face by this, because I've had these come off before and it sucks. Okay, this bottom one, it's got the e-brake cable on the way. So with the crescent wrenches, I'll put my 15 on there. So put my 15 on the bolt, and then this one here, and I just hit it. That was way easier than it should have been. So maybe once we get this all back together, we'll tighten that up a little bit. There we go. Try to catch it if you can, because if it falls off, you don't want to damage the brake line. Oh yeah, I think it is actually a little bent. Alright, there we have it. You can see all the bolts here sheared off, just crazy. So it must have been over torqued or something. That's why it's very important to get that right, and also to replace these bolts whenever brakes are done. Okay, let's go ahead and unbox the new rotors. Make sure they match up with the old ones. Throw that on. I'm just gonna give it one more good clean. And you push it all the way back past the hub, and then turn it sideways. Now we can throw the new axle in. Again, as well, it's just important to make sure everything's the same length, same diameter. You gotta throw on this new seal. And then throw it in. Be gentle with it. You'll feel at the back it needs to go through another hole. These are floating axles. Shouldn't have to use any force. It should just go in nice and gently. I'm just going to use a little bit of blue thread locker here. Hopefully this will fix my original problem, because I literally, the day that this broke, did the front brakes and then was driving home, taking a slip road onto the interstate, and then my wheel just going around the turning onto the interstate fell off. So with the axle shaft attached, maybe I'll throw a photo in here right now so you can see what it looked like. Definitely an expensive mistake for sure, but everybody is safe and nothing bad happens, so everything can be fixed. But you can't replace lives. So I'm just gonna go really loose on these. Make sure to go in the star pattern too. I'm using the 15mm again for this guy because these need to be torqued to a specific spec. In order to put the calipers back on a Ford Transit, so this cylinder here, this little notch here, and this little notch here are there so that you can twist the cylinder back in. It's not like that on every car from what I've seen so far. Ford Transits and probably F-150s and stuff too probably have the same design. I picked up this cool little tool here off Amazon, and all the parts and tools I'm using today, I'll link them in the description below. These little notches here match up with the notches there, like that. And then we're gonna throw a 3/8 inch on there and just twist it until it's back into place. So that might be fully compressed. It doesn't want to turn anymore, so go ahead and see if we can get it back together. We need to place the slides, grease them up before we put the pads back on, and then we'll go from there. I like to put it under the clips, and then we're gonna put it over the clips as well. Make sure you just put the clips on the same way that they came off, because they are directional. See, like this tab here should be on the outside. Just want to go like that. Just gonna help it slide better over time, prevent it from, like I said, getting squeaky or causing any vibrations, anything like that. Make sure it's the same, and it is, so you're good there. I mean, you'll find out pretty quick if it doesn't fit. And this notch is okay. I think it's just for on some of these Transits, they have a wire that connects to this, and it gives you a signal on the dash saying that your brakes are low and that you should replace them soon. Mine doesn't have that, but they are identical otherwise, so don't freak out if you see that notch there. Cool. So put the pads on first. We got our brake caliper back here. Try to fit it on. The cylinder still needs to go in some more. I'm gonna try this one instead, these two little ones, because on the round one it seemed like maybe it was slipping a little bit. This little arrow here tells you the direction to turn this cylinder. So on this one we're gonna turn it counterclockwise. I'm just gonna try to open up the bleeder valve to see if I can release any pressure at all to get this thing to come off. Let's put this caliper back on. You need to make sure that the notches that we were talking about earlier are straight up and down this way, so that when they go back on the caliper, they'll slide into one of these notches on the back that's in the center. So that's another good thing to note, that the pad with the notch in the center needs to go on the back. Now I'm going to throw a little bit of Loctite on there. The last thing, I guess, was just torque these, and then I'm gonna go and do the other side, and then we'll top off the gear oil. 15mm, 22 foot-pounds or 30 Newton meters. I'll go ahead and check back in with you in a little bit. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and get this side off. The main job is done. It's really just getting the brakes done, because you obviously can't just do one side, you gotta do both. Same thing as last time. Using a 21mm crescent wrench, hold the little tab in place and get the bolts off. Penetrating lubricant. Probably should have done this earlier. Just spray it. That's what we could try to do, is get this off. For here, pull off the old seal, throw the new one on. I'm just kind of hitting it back and forth, trying to loosen it up so that we can turn it so that these line up with these, and then the rotor should slide off. So I'm just going to keep going on that till I get it off. Boom, just like that, rotor comes off. This time, no sheared bolts, which is great. We're still gonna replace the bolts just to make sure everything is all good. So I'll throw this on. Boom, there we have it, all back together on both sides. Now all we have to do is bleed the brake, put the wheels back on, and then add our differential fluid, and then hopefully we'll be back on the road. that little bolt right there. We gotta open that up so we can put the fluid inside of the differential. I'm gonna go ahead, get down there, and see if I can get it off. Got that plug out bolt. You see here, you see all that baked on there. That's all just small metal shavings that have built up over the time. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean that off, and then we're gonna put our fluid in and reinstall it. Here's what's going in there. SAE 75W85 Motorcraft bi-Ford. It is vehicle specific, so make sure that you get the right one. I went and picked this up from the dealership. For 3 quarts of it, it cost me like $105, which I know is a bit pricey, but if you get this wrong, it could be catastrophic. Okay, I'm just gonna move on to the next bottle because that one's being tough to get out. Okay, last thing I need to do is bleed the brakes, put the wheels back on, probably jump start it because it's been sitting here for so long, and then hope that everything works. So that's what we're gonna do next. And it's going into a little tank, and then I pumped up the pedal and pulled the e-brake a bit. Now that we've replaced the axle shaft, done the brakes, put the gear oil in the diff, we're gonna slap the wheels back on this baby, take it for a test drive, hopefully, crossing my fingers, everything went to plan and nothing else is broken, and we can just hopefully drive this today because it's been sitting here for a couple weeks and I would love to have my van back up. Let's get the wheels on here. Alright. Well guys, it's driving, so that's good. I was so afraid that maybe the transmission was going to be screwed or something, but it's not. So that's super great. And we don't have to spend $2,700 on a new transmission, so feeling really relieved right now. It's fixed. That's it. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure to like and subscribe. See you next time.